The hospital called at 2:47 in the afternoon to say my 8-year-old daughter had been rushed to the emergency room after falling down the stairs. But when I finally got there, when I finally saw her broken little body in that hospital bed, her first words shattered every lie I had ever believed about my husband, my sister, and the life I thought was safe. She looked up at me with glassy eyes, barely conscious, and whispered something that stopped my heart. "Mommy, I am sorry. Daddy was with Aunt Brianna in your bed. When they saw me watching, Daddy grabbed me and threw me down the stairs. They are still at the house, drinking whiskey in the kitchen." In that moment, something inside me changed forever. 20 years of military training took over. Every instinct I had ever developed for survival, for combat, for protecting what matters most, rose up like a wave. Nobody hurts my child and walks away from it. Nobody. My name is Rachel Sinclair. For 20 years, I served my country as a captain in the United States Army, 3 tours in the Middle East. A bronze star that sits in a box in my closet because looking at it brings back memories I am still learning to live with. I left the military 2 years ago, traded my combat boots for scrubs, and became a veterinary technician at a small animal clinic in Cedar Falls, Iowa. People in town know me as the quiet woman who saves their pets. They do not know about the nightmares that still wake me at 3 in the morning. They do not know about the flashbacks that sometimes hit me in the grocery store when a car backfires in the parking lot. They do not know that some days getting out of bed feels like the hardest mission I have ever completed. But I do it. Every single day, I do it because of her. Because of my daughter, Lily. Lily is 8 years old with my stubborn jaw and her father's hazel eyes. She loves butterflies, hates green beans, and insists on wearing her yellow rain boots, even when there is not a cloud in the sky. She is the reason I came home from the war. She is the reason I fight through the darkness. She is the reason I breathe. My husband, Mark Sinclair, was what everyone called a good man. He managed the credit union downtown, coached youth soccer on Saturdays, and used to bring me breakfast in bed every Sunday morning. At least he used to. For the past several months, he had been distant, working late, missing dinners, coming home smelling like a cologne I did not recognize. I blamed myself. I thought maybe I had brought too much of the war home with me. Maybe I was too broken, too damaged, too difficult to love anymore. And then there was Brianna, my younger sister, 3 years between us. But it might as well have been a lifetime, where I was sharp edges and military discipline. Brianna was soft curves and easy laughter. She sold real estate with a smile that could charm anyone. She showed up with wine when I was having hard days. She braided Lily's hair and painted her nails and taught her how to whistle loud enough to call the neighbor's dog. She was supposed to be family. The 4 of us were supposed to be a unit. Sunday dinners in the backyard, holiday traditions. Brianna helping with Lily when my therapy appointments ran late. Mark being patient with my struggles, the way he promised in our wedding vows. But standing in that hospital room, staring at my daughter's bruised face and broken body, I understood that everything I believed had been a lie. If you are watching this right now, let me know in the comments which city you are joining me from. I read every single one, and I want to know who is here with me through this story. The rage that filled me in that moment was not hot. It was ice cold. The kind of cold clarity that used to settle over me right before a mission. My hands were steady. My breathing was even. Every piece of military training, every survival instinct, every combat skill crystallized into one single truth. I was going to handle this my way. The morning had started like any other Thursday. I was at the clinic by 6:30, prepping for a surgery on an elderly golden retriever who needed a tumor removed. The October air was crisp and clean, leaves crunching under my boots as I walked from my truck to the front door. Mark had kissed me goodbye at 5:45. Same as always, just a quick peck on my forehead while I was still half asleep. "Big presentation today at the regional office," he had said. His tie was already perfect, his hair freshly combed. "I will pick up Lily after school since you are covering for Dr. Patterson." Dr. Patterson had thrown out his back over the weekend, and I had agreed to handle his afternoon appointments along with my own morning surgeries. It meant a long day, but the extra hours would help with Lily's dance classes. "Tell her I will call during lunch," I had mumbled into my pillow. "She has that field trip today. Remember, the apple orchard, right? The apple orchard." I had signed the permission slip myself, packed her lunch with extra cookies to share with her best friend Emma. Normal mother things, the kind of simple, beautiful moments I used to dream about when I was sleeping in a cot overseas, wondering if I would ever make it home to have a family. Brianna had texted me around 7 that morning, showing the Henderson property all day. But I can grab Lily if you need me to. You know how much I love my niece time. Mark has it covered, I had replied. But thanks. She had sent back a string of hearts and a message that said to give Lily extra hugs from her. At the clinic, I lost myself in work. Animals do not ask about your scars. They do not care if you jump at loud noises or keep your back to the wall in crowded rooms. They just need help, and helping them makes me feel like maybe I am still good for something. By noon, I had finished 2 surgeries, given vaccinations to 6 dogs, and held the hand of an elderly man while we discussed hospice care for his 15-year-old beagle. I was good at this life. My therapist said I was making progress. The nightmares only came a few times a week now, instead of every night. I was washing my hands, thinking about calling home to check on Lily, when my phone rang. "Is this Rachel Sinclair?" The voice on the other end was professional and detached, the kind of voice they train people to use when they are about to deliver the worst news of your life. "Yes. This is Mercy General Hospital. Your daughter Lily has been admitted to the emergency department. You need to come immediately." The drive should have taken 25 minutes. I made it in 12. The emergency room smelled like fear and antiseptic. The same smell that used to fill field hospitals overseas. The smell that still sometimes hits me in my dreams. Dr. Nathan Chen met me at the nurses' station. I had known Nathan since high school when he was a skinny kid who wanted to be a surgeon, and I was the girl doing pull-ups at lunch to prepare for basic training. His face told me everything before he said a single word. "Rachel, sit down. Just tell me." "She has a severe concussion, 4 broken ribs, a fractured wrist, her left shoulder was dislocated, but we have reset it. There is significant bruising along her spine and her upper arms." He paused, and I could see him choosing his next words carefully. "The injuries are consistent with a fall, but some of the bruising patterns are concerning. There are what appear to be grip marks on her arms. Has Lily mentioned any problems at home?" I stared at him, the words not making sense. "What are you asking me, Nathan?" "I am asking if there is anything you want to tell me before I file my mandatory report." The implication hung in the air between us. Child Protective Services, police investigation, the whole nightmare. I thought about Mark, the man who read bedtime stories with different voices for each character, the man who taught Lily to ride her bike, running beside her for hours, the man who held me through my worst nights when the war felt too close. "No," I said. "There is nothing. Can I see my daughter now?" They led me down the hallway to her room, past other families dealing with their own tragedies behind curtained glass. Lily looked impossibly small in that hospital bed. Machines monitored her vital signs with steady beeping. Her arm was wrapped in a bright purple cast. Bruises colored her cheek in shades of deep violet and sickly yellow. An IV dripped steadily into her small hand. I pulled a chair close and took her fingers in mine. They were still dimpled at the knuckles, still baby soft. I had held these same fingers when she took her first steps, when she started kindergarten, when she got her ears pierced last month. After nearly an hour, her eyes fluttered open. "Mommy, I am here, baby. You are safe now." Her eyes filled with tears that spilled down her bruised cheeks. "I am sorry, Mommy. I did not mean to see them." My heart stopped. "See who, sweetheart?" "Daddy and Aunt Brianna. They were in your bed. They were doing grown-up things, kissing and stuff, without their clothes." The room tilted. I gripped the bedrail so hard my knuckles went white. "Are you sure it was Aunt Brianna?" She was wearing the bracelet I made her for her birthday, the one with the pink and white beads, and her perfume, the one that smells like vanilla. Lily's voice cracked, and fresh tears rolled down her face. "I just wanted my stuffed bunny from your room. Mr. Flopsy was lonely. I thought if I was really quiet, nobody would hear me. But Daddy saw me. His face got really red and scary. He grabbed my arm so hard it hurt. I tried to run away, but he pulled me back. He was yelling, saying I ruined everything. Then he pushed me really hard and I fell down the stairs backwards. The cold settled deeper into my bones. 20 years of combat experience had taught me to channel rage into focus, to turn emotion into action. "What happened after you fell?" I could not move. Everything hurt so much. "Aunt Brianna came down the stairs. She was wearing your blue robe. The one Grandma gave you for Christmas." She was crying. "Daddy said they had to take me to the hospital, but they had to get their story straight first. He made me promise not to tell anyone what I saw. He said if I told, you would leave us, and I would never see you again. He said it would be all my fault." My vision went red at the edges. "Then what?" Aunt Brianna said, "Maybe they should give me some of Daddy's whiskey for the pain, but Daddy said that would look suspicious." They got dressed really fast. Daddy kept saying this was not supposed to happen, over and over. A social worker had entered the room, a woman with kind eyes and gray hair pulled back in a neat bun. I had not heard her come in, but old habits die hard. I had positioned myself to see the door. "Mrs. Sinclair," the social worker said gently, "we have contacted the police. They will need your daughter's statement. We will also need to document her injuries thoroughly for the investigation." "Will they arrest him?" "They will investigate. These cases involving family members can be complicated. It takes time to build a proper case." Time. My daughter was lying broken in a hospital bed, betrayed by her own father and aunt, and they wanted time. I leaned down and kissed Lily's forehead as she drifted back to sleep, the pain medication finally working. "Mommy will be right back, sweetheart. I need to make some phone calls." I stepped into the hallway and called my mother. Patricia Donovan answered on the second ring, her voice cheerful. "Rachel, honey, how is my granddaughter? Did she have fun at the apple orchard?" "Mom, I need you at Mercy General Hospital, pediatric wing, now." "What happened?" Mark pushed Lily down the stairs. "She caught him in bed with Brianna." Silence. Then, in a voice I had not heard since my father died, my mother said, "I will be there in 15 minutes." She made it in 10. My mother took one look at Lily through the glass, and her entire body went rigid. "Tell me everything." I did. Every word, every detail. My mother listened without interrupting, her hands clenched tight in her lap. "Rachel, do not do anything you will regret. Everything I might regret, they already did first." "And what is your plan? Go to prison while Lily grows up without her mother?" I looked through the window at my daughter, so small, so broken, so betrayed by the people who were supposed to protect her. "He is still at the house, Mom, with her, drinking whiskey in my kitchen, while our daughter lies here with broken ribs." "You do not know that." "Yes, I do." I pulled out my phone and showed her the location app. Mark's phone was at home. I had checked Brianna's social media earlier. She had posted a photo 3 hours ago showing a glass of wine with a caption about enjoying an afternoon off. The location tag showed our neighborhood. "Stay with Lily," I said. "If she wakes up, tell her Mommy had to run an important errand. I will be back soon. Rachel, please." But I was already walking toward the elevator. If this story is making your heart pound, do me a favor, hit that like button right now. And if you have ever had to protect someone you love from people who were supposed to love them too, let me know in the comments. You are not alone. I drove home carefully, legally, observing every traffic law. I parked 2 blocks away at the small park where Lily liked to feed the ducks. The walk gave me time to control my breathing, to push down the rage until it became something useful. Rage makes you sloppy. Cold precision keeps you alive. Our house looked completely normal from the outside. Mark's silver sedan in the driveway, freshly washed, Brianna's white SUV parked behind it, blocking him in. The living room curtains were drawn even though it was mid-afternoon. I had a key, but I knocked instead, loud and authoritative, the kind of knock that demands an answer. Shuffling sounds inside, whispered voices. Then Mark opened the door, his expression shifting from irritation to pure terror in less than a second. "Rachel? I thought you would be at the hospital." His shirt was untucked, his hair disheveled. He reeked of whiskey. "How is Lily?" "Kids, you know, always falling and hurting themselves." "Stop talking, Mark." Brianna appeared behind him, wearing my robe, my grandmother's silk robe that she brought back from Japan, that I only wore on special occasions. The audacity of it made my vision narrow. "Rachel, this is not what it looks like," Brianna said, trying to smooth her tangled hair. "Really? Because it looks like you two nearly killed my daughter to keep your affair secret." "She fell," Mark protested, but his voice shook. I noticed the scratches on his neck, 3 parallel lines where small fingers had fought back. Lily had tried to defend herself. "My brave, brave girl." "Let me inside," I said. "I do not think that is a good idea," Mark replied, trying to block the doorway. "Mark, you have 2 choices. You let me in and we handle this like adults. Or I call the police right now and tell them you are interfering with a mother trying to collect her hospitalized child's belongings. Your choice." He stepped back. I walked inside and closed the door behind me with deliberate calm. The living room was a disaster. Empty whiskey bottle on the coffee table, 2 glasses, Brianna's purse spilled across my couch, her clothes scattered on my floor. "I want you both to listen very carefully," I said, keeping my voice level. "I have served 3 combat tours. I have interrogated men who thought they were untouchable until they were not. I have survived things that would destroy both of you in seconds. Right now, I am deciding exactly how much mercy you deserve." Mark stumbled backward. "You are threatening us. I will call the police." "Please do. Explain to them why you are drunk in the middle of the afternoon while your daughter is in intensive care. Explain why you have defensive wounds on your neck. Explain why my sister is wearing my grandmother's robe." I pulled out my phone, opened the voice recording application, and set it on the coffee table between us. The red recording indicator blinked steadily. "Sit down, both of you. We are going to have a conversation, and you are going to tell me the truth. All of it." They sat on the couch like frightened children, Mark gripping his glass with white knuckles, Brianna pulling my grandmother's robe tighter around herself. I remained standing, positioned between them and the door. "How long?" They looked at each other, that silent communication that comes from intimacy. My stomach turned. 10 months, Brianna whispered. "It started 10 months ago. 10 months. Right after my worst period with the PTSD, when I had spent weeks barely able to function. When Brianna had moved in temporarily to help with Lily. When Mark had been so patient, so understanding. Tell me how it started." "Does it matter?" Mark snapped. "Everything matters. Talk." Brianna broke first. "You were having those terrible nightmares. The ones where you would scream and thrash." Mark started sleeping in the guest room. "I was here helping with Lily, making dinners, doing bedtime routines. One night, after you had taken your medication, Mark and I were cleaning up the kitchen. He was crying. He said he felt like he had lost his wife, that you were gone even when you were physically present. So you comforted him. It was not supposed to happen. We were just talking. And then we were kissing, and then we could not stop. We tried to end it so many times. 10 months of trying. How noble." Mark found courage in the alcohol. "You want the truth? Fine. You came back from the war broken. You are not the woman I married. You are paranoid. You are cold. You jump at every sound. I spent 2 years walking on eggshells, never knowing what would set you off. Brianna actually looked at me. She actually wanted to be touched. So you threw our daughter down the stairs to protect your secret. That was an accident." Mark stood up, swaying. "She was not supposed to be home. She was supposed to be at school. The field trip was canceled. The school called your phone at 9 this morning. I checked. You knew she was home." The color drained from his face. "I forgot. We were already upstairs. And then suddenly she was just standing there, staring at us. I panicked. You panicked. So you grabbed an 8-year-old girl hard enough to leave bruises and threw her down 14 stairs. I did not throw her. I pushed her away, and she fell." "Show me." "What?" "Stand up. Show me exactly how you pushed her. Show me the force you used on my daughter." "This is insane." "Do it." He reached out half-heartedly. "That would not leave the bruises I saw. Show me what you really did." He grabbed harder, demonstrating on the air in front of him. "Now show me the push." He shoved forward, hard. The force of it moved his whole body. "You pushed a 45-pound child with that much force," I said quietly, "and she fell backwards down 14 stairs. I did not mean for her to fall." "No, you just meant to silence her, to scare her into keeping your filthy secret." I picked up my phone and stopped the recording. "Congratulations. You just confessed to aggravated assault on a minor child endangerment and conspiracy to file a false police report. In Iowa, that is a Class C felony. You are looking at 10 years. Their faces went white. "Here is what is going to happen," I said. "Mark, you are going to sign divorce papers, uncontested, full custody to me. You will pay child support, all medical bills, and set up a college fund. You will move out of state within 60 days and never contact Lily again unless she chooses to reach out when she is an adult. Brianna, you are dead to this family. If you ever come near my daughter again, if you ever contact my mother, If you show your face at any family gathering for the rest of your miserable life, I will release this recording to the police, your employers, and every social media platform in existence. You are blackmailing us, Mark said. I am offering mercy. Prison would be much worse. I leaned in close, letting them see the soldier I had been, the woman who had survived ambushes and explosions and horrors they could not imagine. But mercy is conditional. This recording keeps you safe only as long as you comply with every single term. Test me, and you will learn that some problems require permanent solutions. I still have contacts, people who believe in justice. Mark's face went pale green. Brianna burst into tears. Get out, I said. Both of you. Pack one bag each. You have 15 minutes. Then I never want to see either of you in this house again. They scrambled upstairs like rats fleeing a sinking ship. I stood in my living room, surrounded by the wreckage of my marriage, and felt nothing but cold satisfaction. 3 months later, Lily was healing beautifully. The cast came off after 6 weeks. The bruises faded from purple to yellow to nothing, though I still saw them sometimes when I closed my eyes. Physical therapy restored her range of motion. The child psychologist said she was remarkably resilient. Like her mother, Dr. Martinez told me, children model what they see. She sees you moving forward, building a new life, refusing to be defeated, so she knows she can do the same. Mark fled to Arizona before the police could build their case. He signed every document I demanded within 72 hours of our confrontation. The divorce was finalized in record time. Child support payments hit my account on the 1st of every month, along with contributions to Lily's college fund and payments for her ongoing medical care. He never once attempted to use the supervised visitation rights the court had granted. Fear is an excellent motivator. Brianna moved to California, as far from Iowa as she could get without leaving the country. She tried calling once, about 2 weeks after everything happened. I answered just to deliver one message. If you contact us again, the recording goes to everyone you know. She never called again. My mother moved in for a few months to help while I figured out single parenthood. She never asked exactly what I said to Mark and Brianna that day. She did not need to. She raised a soldier. She knew some battles are won with weapons that leave no visible wounds. The real victory came 6 months later. Lily and I were at the park, the same one where I had parked my car that terrible afternoon. She was pumping her legs on the swing, hair streaming behind her in the spring sunshine, when she suddenly stopped. Mom, can I ask you something? Always, baby. Why did Daddy and Aunt Brianna do those things? Was it my fault they stopped loving us? I knelt in front of her and took her small hands in mine. Listen to me carefully, Lily. None of this was ever your fault. Sometimes adults make selfish choices that hurt the people who love them. Daddy and Aunt Brianna chose to betray our trust. They chose to lie. And when you discovered their lies, Daddy chose to hurt you to protect himself. Those were their choices. Not yours. Never yours. She thought about this, her 8-year-old mind working through emotions no child should have to process. Mom, I am glad you made the bad people go away. Bad people. Her father and her aunt. People who were supposed to love and protect her had become bad people in her eyes. But you protected me, she continued. You are like a superhero, but real. I pulled her close, breathing in her strawberry shampoo, feeling her heartbeat against mine. No, sweetheart, I am just your mom. And being your mom is the most powerful thing I have ever been. Military training did not save my daughter that day. Yes, it gave me the tactical thinking to record the confession. Yes, it gave me the emotional control to handle the confrontation without violence. Yes, it made me dangerous enough that Mark and Brianna believed every word I said. But what truly saved her was love. Pure, fierce, unstoppable maternal love. The kind of love that would burn down the entire world to protect one small girl in yellow rain boots. Mark and Brianna are still out there somewhere, living their lives, looking over their shoulders, wondering if today is the day I decide mercy was a mistake. That fear is their prison, and it is exactly what they deserve, because here is what I learned through all of this. You do not need weapons to destroy someone who has hurt your child. Sometimes all you need is the truth. A recording application, and the absolute certainty that you would do anything to protect what matters most. My name is Rachel Sinclair. I am a veteran who served 3 tours overseas. I am a veterinary technician who saves animals every day. I am a survivor who battles PTSD and wins more often than I lose. But the title that matters most, the one that makes me truly dangerous, is this. I am Lily's mom, and nobody hurts my baby and walks away from it. Nobody. If you are still watching, you are my people. Subscribe to this channel so you do not miss what comes next. Drop a comment telling me your favorite part of this story, and hit that like button if you believe that a mother's love is the most powerful force on earth.